If your best performing platform changed the rules tomorrow, maybe your reach drops or the format you rely on stops working altogether, would you still be able to get in front of your audience? Would your content still get discovered? Would your leads still come in? And most people say no. And that's exactly why episodes like this matter. The people who prepare now are the ones who will win later. Welcome to Marketing Trends Now. I'm Katie Brinkley, a social media strategist who's been in the game for over 2 decades. And I'm a business owner just like you. If you want to stay ahead of the algorithm without burning out, I've got you. I know you've got a business to run, so I'm going to keep it short, smart, and worth your time.
Let's dive into today's episode.
Welcome to Marketing Trends Now. We're looking ahead in today's episode into 2026 and talking about the trends that are going to shape how we show up, how we create, and how we can grow our businesses here on social. And I want you to set the stage for you right out the gate. Platforms, yippee, they're shifting again, and not slowly, not gently. And if you're still marketing like it's 2023, it is going to feel like you are trying to run the latest apps on a 4-year-old phone. I got my daughter's new iPads for Christmas this year because, we couldn't run any of the apps because their iPads were too old. They were hand-me-downs before, and none of the apps would work. Nothing could get updated. And, that's what it happens. Things work until suddenly they don't. And my goal today is simple. I want you to walk away with a clear understanding of what's actually changing, why it matters, and how you can start adjusting now so you're positioned early, not just scrambling. And you don't need to completely overhaul your entire social media life or hire a team of 20. You just need to understand the direction of the industry and start making those small strategic shifts that will compound. All right, so let's dive into the biggest trends of 2026 that I think we should be paying attention to. So trend number 1, AI becomes part of your day-to-day. It's not just a nice idea. It actually happens. And I think obviously this is the most obvious trend, okay? AI. And I know everyone talks about it, but here's the part that no one is saying out loud. In 2026, AI, it isn't just a tool you sometimes use. AI becomes baked directly into the platforms themselves. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, even LinkedIn. They're all integrating AI into how content is created, delivered, and recommended, and even personalized. So if you're thinking you're quote unquote cheating by using AI or you're resisting it because you want to stay authentic, let me be honest with you. AI isn't replacing your creativity. AI is replacing your inefficiency. AI frees you up from the painful parts of content creation. So rewriting captions over and over, resizing images, guessing what might work, manually repurposing long-form content into short form. Those days are over. And thank goodness, right? And because no one has time for that. And that means 2 things. First, the people who use AI thoughtfully, not to copy someone else's voice, but to support their own message, will produce faster with higher quality and more consistency. Second, if you ignore AI completely, you are going to be outrun. Not because you aren't smart or talented, but because the tools have changed and the workflow is faster now. Start using AI in small ways. Let it help you brainstorm content ideas. Let it assist you in repurposing. Let it draft that rough version of something you then refine. If you treat AI like your assistant, not your replacement, you are going to be miles ahead going into this year. Trend number 2, social platforms become search engines. This started happening already in 2025. This trend matters more than almost anything else because it changes how your content gets found. People, especially the younger gen, they are skipping Google entirely. They're searching inside of Instagram. They're searching inside of TikTok. They're searching inside of YouTube. Honestly, it makes sense. I was thinking about getting my daughter a bearded dragon for Christmas. I spent a lot of time watching YouTube videos and I joined a Facebook group about bearded dragon. This is the spot, again, where people are searching. I didn't go to Google. I stayed inside social media. The content, it feels fresher. It feels like real people, not articles, written by a faceless website. If someone searches, quote unquote, how to start a podcast or tips for small business marketing or best local coffee shop, they're not scrolling through Google page one anymore. They're clicking whatever pops up on the social app they're already spending hours every day on. So what does that mean for your content? It means cute captions, Monday motivation. That stuff is not enough. Trend jacking isn't enough. Being entertaining isn't enough. You have to think like a resource. You have to think like someone answering a real question. Write clearly, speak clearly, say the thing people are literally typing into the search bar. Because if you don't, your content won't be found, no matter how good it is. And honestly, this is great news for small businesses. You don't need to have the biggest following. You need to have relevance. Social search SEO levels the playing field. And yes, this is absolutely the time to revisit your posting strategy. If your content can't be categorized by the algorithm, it can't be surfaced by search. That is a problem. The third trend I think that we're going to see in 2026, short form video evolves from the attention grabber into the value driver. Short form video, still king, but and that's not changing. But in 2026, I think the real reason people will watch short form content is going to shift. I think that we are done with pointless noise. We are done with dancing for attention, and consumers are getting really, really good at tuning stuff out. Short form still matters, but now it needs to serve a purpose. I think that this year in 2026, short form content becomes a hook, a teaching moment, a quick breakdown, a myth buster, a niche opinion, a conversation starter. You don't have to entertain to earn attention. You have to be clear, concise, and genuinely helpful. The trend reports show that platforms are rewarding creators who offer insight, not just entertainment. And honestly, can I just say this is a huge relief? Because short form is going to help people discover you. What they find when they land on your profile, that is where the next trend come in. So trend number 4, I think that long form content is going to make a serious comeback. We're finally circling back to depth. Thank goodness, right? People are tired of superficial content. They're tired of learning half a new idea in 8 seconds and being thrown into a new video with a totally different topic. Long form content like podcasts, long YouTube videos, in-depth newsletters, email lists. This is where trust is built. This is where you get to be the expert. This is where your audience sees your thought process. This is where you stand out from everyone who are just chasing the views. And honestly, this trend favors entrepreneurs and small businesses more than anyone else because long form content lets you show off what you actually know. If you already host a podcast or a YouTube channel, 2026 is going to be your year. And if you've been thinking about starting one, this is your sign. Long form gives you consistency. It gives you authority and a stable content engine that you can slice into dozens of short form pieces. Short form brings new eyes in. Long form keeps people around. The most successful business owners in 2026 will have a combination of both. Now, trend number 5, communities. I'm always sitting on the community wagon here. So micro communities and relationship-driven spaces are going to win. I think that we're entertaining a new era where people want connection because of AI. They want connection, not just more noise. They want to belong somewhere, not be broadcasted to. Micro communities, whether they live in a Facebook group or in a membership, a DM chat, a paid group, or even a recurring comment thread. Those are becoming more important than big public feeds. And here's why. People trust people, not platforms. And community-driven brands outperform algorithm-driven brands every time. In 2026, audiences want brands that talk with them, not at them. They want personalized interactions. They want meaningful engagement, and they want content that feels like it was made just for them, which, by the way, loops us back to AI-driven personalization. This means your focus should shift from how do I get in front of more people to how do I deepen my connection with the people already here? Because that's where the money is. That's where the loyalty is. That's where the long-term growth comes from. Next trend, I think that diversified content systems beat platform dependence. One of the smartest things you can do in 2026 is build a system that isn't dependent on a single algorithm, a single platform, or a single format. Because let's be honest, relying on only one platform for your business growth is risky. What happens when it changes? What happens when engagement tanks? What happens when your best format stops working? I think that having a diversified content system is extremely important. You need to plan for visibility, you need a long-form container, an email list that you own, and a strategy that supports intentional repurposing. Think of content as an ecosystem, not a one-off post. When you do this, your brand becomes algorithm proof. Have that podcast, that YouTube presence, a Facebook and a LinkedIn. You're checking the boxes, making sure that you have a hand in multiple buckets that should help you succeed in case an algorithm changes. And last but not least, I think that authenticity is going to evolve into a real expertise. It is hard to tell what's AI and what's not anymore. And authenticity, I think it's been a buzzword for years, but in 2026, I think it's going to evolve again. It's not about showing your messy house or your unfiltered life, unless that's relevant to your brand. It is about being real in your knowledge, real in your insights, real in how you show up. People can spot AI content from a mile away. They want to know you. They want honesty. They want real stories. They want content that reflects actual experience. And I know I said earlier you need to embrace AI, but you also need to embrace your human authenticity. You need to be real and helpful. So what does all this mean for you? It means 2026 isn't about doing more. It's about being smarter. Using AI in your workflow, optimizing for social reach, optimizing for social search, pairing short form with long form, building community, and embracing authenticity. If you take anything away from today's episode, let it be this. It's a brand new year. Pick one trend, just one, and build a simple 30-day experiment around it. Make small shifts now so that you can make those big shifts later. And you can start incorporating more strategies as the year goes on. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure that you hit subscribe. I hope that you all have a wonderful new year. Here is to 2026. And until then, keep your marketing smart, strategic, and always on trend.